What's up, guys? This is Coach and the Professor from HTL. Going to do something a little bit different today. Normally, you guys see us every week. We talk about college football, pretty into that, but I think we're going to spread our wings a little bit and we're going to go into some NFL stuff. So today we're going to we'll take turns, all right? We'll go three game lines, three player props, and a super random touchdown scorer that may or may not be a good decision. But if we're doing it, you should too. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our game lines. Will, go ahead. We'll just do like a little back and forth, and we'll just kind of go from there. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. First one I got, Ravens versus Buccaneers over 49 and a half. Going to be a lot of points, two really good offenses. Baker's been playing out of his mind, so got that at minus 110.
All right, so my first one in my it's ranging in confidence, so I'm kind of like going on a 1 to 5 scale. So this one goes 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this first one's a 3 out of 5 in confidence. I'm going to go Colts under 23 and a half. Injury concerns for the Colts on the offensive side of the ball. Dolphins, if you watch them play, the defense is not the issue with that team. They actually have a really good secondary. The pass defense is pretty top notch. They can't score, and that's their problem. So for that reason, then the Colts being kind of banged up, especially when in the run game, I've got them under 23 and a half.
Okay. Next play, Jets money line. You ever heard the saying, let Russ cook? He's not cooking this week on the Steelers. He's going to cook hot dogs and milk. Um, so yeah, Jets money line minus 135. A-Rod, Devontae, and Garrett Wilson getting it done. I'm worried about TJ Watt, but that's it. I don't think Russ is going to score at all. He just takes away a whole element of their offense that Justin Fields gave in rushing ability. So,
Actually, I 100% agree with you.
yeah.
And I took that play as well. My number two, I'm going to go to Eagles and Giants. This one's a 4 out of 5 on the confidence scale, under 43 points scored combined. At some point, the Eagles offense is going to get going. I just feel like with the talent that they have, it's kind of undeniable, but it is not this day. The Giants tend to play them pretty competitive as it is. So you're looking at right now is two bottom five third down offenses and red zone offenses versus two top five third down defenses and red zone defenses. So I think there's going to be a lot of field goals being kicked. So I've got under 43 for that one.
Okay. Next one for me is a little homer pick when Falcons minus three, minus 105 against the Seahawks. I think we're finally hitting our stride. Bijan scored two touchdowns last week. Algier had a touchdown and like 100 plus yards. So I got Falcons minus three. I think this game will be high scoring as well, which kind of bodes well for the Falcons because we are not known for our defense, and Seattle will have to throw the ball to keep this in the game. And I think our secondary will be able to get like one or two picks.
Yeah, I actually think you actually said it. The turnover. I think turnovers is going to be the key. I think we're going to be able to force that, and I think that'll be the difference in the game, because both teams are going to be able to move the ball. All right, my last one, 5 out of 5, and it's almost cheating. Commanders -7 over the Panthers. I could have bought it down half, but I really like. I'll play a push, whatever. The Commanders, they're coming. I barely researched it. I really don't feel like I had to. Commanders are coming off a pretty tough loss, where I thought they were competitive, but it's almost like, Lamar Jackson and I feel like Daniels would hate for me to say this, but it was almost like the big brother playing the little brother, and so he wasn't there yet, but he will be. I think he's going to be a great player. Perfect opportunity for a bounce back game after that. So I have the Commanders winning pretty easily. So at -7, I'll have them covering that spread. So I guess let's move over to player props. Let's do three player props.
Sounds good. My first one, I'm actually going to that Commanders Panthers game, but on the other end, I'm going Deontay Johnson over 68 and a half receiving yards. All lines were got on Prize Picks. Please sponsor us. Um, yeah, Deontay Johnson over 68 and a half. If there's one thing the Commanders are not good at, it's defending the pass. So I'm gonna bet on that this week.
I like that. And speaking of passing, I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield over 249 and a half passing yards. If they are going to win this game, it's going to be a shootout. It has to be. If it's going to be a shootout, they're not going to win by running the ball. Baker has to throw his way to a victory here because it's going to be hard to keep up with that offense. So yeah, Baker over 249 and a half, I actually thought was like a fairly low number for someone that
Yeah.
throws 40 plus times a game. So I thought that was great
Yep. My next one, another going to another game with a high total. So I think he's gonna throw some touchdowns. Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing
to
touchdowns.
safe bet. To
He's
safe
been
bet
playing well for some reason this whole year. He'll probably throw one to Jefferson and then throw the next one to freaking like Jalen Naylor or something like that. Because for some reason when Addison was out, he had like 4 touchdowns. But yeah, Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing touchdowns. They're gonna have to throw the ball to stay in the game as well because two high-powered offenses.
All right, so this next one, this could completely backfire on me because it always goes one of two ways when, a top receiver is out and you're not going to have that guy. But I'm going to go Brock Bowers over 58 and a half receiving yards. I actually think he's the number one target. It's undeniable. That's the number one target on the Raiders offense. The Rams do give up yards in the air. So I think it's a pretty safe bet. If nothing else, he's going to get targeted 10 plus times. So the odds are in my favor that the yards are achieved. It really is just, you know, are they effective in the pass game against the Rams? And if they are, that means Bowers is probably a beneficiary of that. So over 58 and a half.
It's a possibility Myers doesn't even play as well again this week, so
Yeah.
then he'd be the only option.
And then maybe they triple cover him and then hope that someone, so it always could backfire, but I just feel like they're going to force feed him
Yeah,
because I think they have to.
with Bowers too, he's one play away. He's one of the
Yeah.
most explosive tight ends in the game.
He's a mismatch.
But my next one and final player prop, DK Metcalf over 68.5 receiving yards. He shockingly hasn't hit it in his last 2 games, but up until then he had like been on 3 straight 100 plus yard games. Falcons are the Falcons. We're gonna give up. He's probably gonna get it in garbage time or something like that, or like on a 2 minute drive or something like that, because we'll play freaking cover four and just let him eat. But yeah, this Seattle offense passes the ball a lot. I think I saw it like Geno's on pace for like 5,000 yards.
I think he's number one in passing, or
Yeah,
like it might not until last week. Maybe he had a bad week, one of these, but until that point, he was like number one in passing.
I think he still is just because of how much they have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, DK over 68.5 receiving yards.
Right. My last one. I don't have a ton of metrics or stats to back this up. I'm just going with the fact that Saquon is facing his former team and is going to be motivated. And he is also one of the few guys that is performing on that team currently while the offense gets its bearings. Saquon is going to be, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to be in rushing only. So I'm going to go all purpose yards. His all purpose yards is set at 100 and a half. His rush line was like 86 and a half. So I'm like, well, he's probably going to have more than 16 yards in the air. Like you're going to use him out of the backfield a lot. So I'm going to go over all purpose yards, kind of he's going back facing his former team. I feel like he's going to be motivated to perform. So I got him on the over on that. All right. So random touchdown scorer. These are not necessarily locks, but we did do a little bit of research, and I think we've got some good feelings. These are high value plays, so be careful with your money here, guys.
Mine, he hasn't scored a touchdown in his career. He may be a rookie, but he hasn't scored a touchdown in his career. He finally got a little bit acclimated to the offense last week. I think he had like 4 catches, something like that, a career high. Um, and he's facing a defense that is known to give up yards via the pass. I think tight ends have scored 2 touchdowns against them all year, which may not be the best ratio since there's been 6 games. But I think Jatavion Sanders gets his first touchdown of his career this week at plus 450 on Bovada.
I was about to say,
It's,
tell them the value.
yeah, it's a crazy value. But Jatavion Sanders gets his first touchdown of his career.
All right, so with mine, this guy's a plus 300, so a little bit better odds, and I like to play the pattern game. All right, so there's a pattern here. Week 3, Okay, against the Jaguars, one target, one touchdown. Okay. The week after that, three receptions, 51 yards. So no touchdowns, but the yards came. Following week against Houston, one reception, one touchdown. The week after that, three receptions, no touchdowns. Now we're at Tennessee and it's the every other. So every other week he's had one catch and one touchdown. So that means he is on pace for this week to have one catch, but also that catch being a touchdown. So Keon Coleman for the Bills will be my touchdown player prop at plus 300. The
Yeah.
pattern is here, gentlemen. The pattern is here. All right. So that is gonna do it. We're gonna try and do this at least once a week. We want to do this once
Hmm.
a week. At least give you guys a few of our NFL plays. You guys hear our college football plays every week, but I want to make sure we sprinkle in the other sports as well because we do a lot with the other sports. You'll definitely see that in springtime when baseball comes back into session. We're very active during baseball season as well. But this way you get to hear more of us. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. Hopefully it's a good thing. But just another way to kind of branch out and get more of our material out there for you guys to enjoy. Appreciate the time. We will see you guys, I guess, next Tuesday or Wednesday with NCAA, our review of last week.
Awesome. See you guys. Hopefully you guys like this. If you guys like this little format, kind of informal thing, just let us know. Um, we'll definitely keep doing it. Just drop a comment. This one will be only on YouTube. I'm not going to upload this one to Spotify, so kind of a little premium content on YouTube if you guys are there, and not this and only not just on Spotify. So
Yep,
yeah, appreciate you guys.
for sure. Thanks, y'all.